Hi friends, it's Jess with Our Bipolar. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, just a little bit about me. I have bipolar 1 and I was diagnosed 26 years ago when I was a sophomore in college. Today, I want to talk to you about something I heard saying that bipolar is delicate, not delicate like a flower, but delicate like a bomb. But before we get into that, I'll ask you to please subscribe to my channel, like this video, comment, also share the video with a friend if you want. I'm also on social media, so you can reach out to me on Instagram and Facebook. So not too long ago, I was listening to the Inside Bipolar podcast. It is run by Gabe Howard, who has bipolar disorder, and also by Dr. Nicole Washington, who is a psychiatrist. And in there, Dr. Nicole said, and I'm paraphrasing, but she said that bipolar disorder is delicate, not like a flower. It's delicate like a bomb. So you need to handle it with care and you need to be very strategic. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about that with you guys today. So delicate like a bomb. You need to handle bipolar disorder with care, and if you don't, it could blow up. Now, she's exactly right. I heard this and I thought, this is exactly it. So if you have bipolar disorder like I do, you really have to handle it with care. You have to do all the things, right? You have to take medication. You have to first find the right medication for you, and not everyone does that right out of the gate. I know I didn't. I can link video here about my bipolar med journey, which, it took me a good 9 years or so to find a medication that works. And then what does that mean? When a bipolar med works, it doesn't solve everything, right? You have to do your part. And that was something that took me a while to learn. I have to make all these lifestyle changes. I had to get more sleep. I had to go to bed at a decent time. I had to take really good care of myself by exercising, eating right, reducing stress, whatever I can do to keep bipolar at bay. And even then, most of us still get symptoms. I know that I don't have the most severe symptoms that I did in those first 9 or 10 years of my diagnosis, but I still have symptoms. Usually I will, go into depression here and there. I will have hypomania, but I don't go all the way up to the full-blown mania and psychosis anymore. And that's because I'm handling bipolar disorder so delicately. So what else can happen if we don't handle this bomb delicately and it blows up? Well, we can be hospitalized for bipolar, and we can also ruin so many relationships in our lives with friends, with family, and that's something that we end up being responsible for. Even if the symptoms caused it, we have to take responsibility because in the end, these were our actions. Now, you might say that it was bipolar's fault, and I would agree with you, but we have to fix those relationships if we want to have them outside of any mood episodes, right? Another thing that can happen if the bipolar bomb blows up is we could lose our job if we have one, or we could, not be able to have a job, like have trouble getting a job, things like that. And financially, it can be really rough to have bipolar disorder. So it's hard to get employed, stay employed, especially if this bipolar bomb blows. And if you're not working because of bipolar disorder, it's still rough. Because even if you're able to get disability, which can be very difficult to get, it's really not enough to live on, let's be honest. And I think what we need to keep in mind too is if we handle this bomb with care, handle it properly, right? That doesn't mean it won't blow up anyway. Unfortunately, this disorder is very tricky. It's like a bomb that sometimes has its own mind and is gonna do what it wants to do, even if we do everything right and we try to keep it from going off. Trust me, if I could avoid symptoms all the time, I would, and I do try to, but that doesn't happen. I still have symptoms. So having bipolar disorder is so much trickier than I think people realize, especially people who don't have it. I think some people think, well, all you have to do is take your meds. All you have to do is take your meds, take care of yourself. You're fine then, right? No, that's not the case. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about this concept of bipolar being delicate like a bomb and what that means and what it means to live like that with this bomb in your life. I mean, it's really not the easiest thing. I feel like for some of us that bomb is a lot bigger and stronger than for others, and that's no one's fault. We all have bipolar to varying degrees. All right, tell me what you think about this. Has that bipolar bomb gone off in your life recently or ever? If you have bipolar, I'm pretty sure the answer is yes, but tell me about your experiences. I'd love to hear them. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.